What's up everybody, Jaxxsin here, and I've been playing Let It Die a bunch lately, and there was one thing that kind of bothered me in the beginning of this game, and that is that it wasn't very clear. It didn't really explain things too properly. I mean, yeah, you're in the Tower of Barbs, you know what I mean, and it does a great job of laying out the story and things like that. I'm not going to go into that at all in this video. Basically what this video is going to be is some general hints, tips, and strategies to help you in the beginning and go through these things like one at a time as they come up, to basically give you a little bit of a tutorial video, what have you. And these are things that, I mean, I scoured the internet at a certain point because I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. I mean, the game throws some information at you, but it throws it at you so fast that, like, at certain points where you're just kind of like you're in the middle of a fight or something like that and you just want to skip it. This can all be found in game in the logbook, of course, or the DIY index, whatever it's called, the Rolodex. Oh, there you go. So I combed through that, and that's where I found information about haters and things like that. But I couldn't figure out how I could make new fighters. You know, how can I expand my fighters so I have more of them to defend my base? I didn't really understand defending the base and how that worked, how to upgrade through the Tokyo Death Metro. So in this video, I just want to lay out some basic things in the beginning as they come up that will help you, you know, survive Let It Die long enough for this game to become even more interesting than it already is, in my opinion, because I really like the roguelike elements of the dungeon crawl. So, so I'm going to go into haters first, because haters are the first major threat that you're going to come up against. So in Let It Die, the way a hater is created is you, the player, during the course of your dungeon crawl, will die. It's going to happen, okay? And when that happens, you can either revive using a skull coin, which I will here in a minute, because this guy was here to gank. Level 29, he was here. Like, so basically the way a hater is created is you go in the dungeon, you die, you do not revive with the skull coin, and you just leave your body there, okay? That fighter will then crawl the dungeon for you and attack other players and kill them, and when they kill them, they will steal your splithium, which is a key ingredient to upgrading your waiting room, upgrading your freezer so you can have more slots for more fighters, upgrading, you know, your bank storage so you can have more kill coins, and your splithium storage so you can have more splithium. You know, it's basically a very important currency in the game. So players like this guy, he'll go out here, he'll fully equip his character with something, you know, something that can basically almost get a one-shot on a level 1 character. And this is the first floor. You're going to come across these at very low levels. Okay. Now, my strategy for dealing with these guys is fairly simple and straightforward. It's these guys are going to attack you like almost 90% of the other enemies in the game that I've come up against, short of like mini bosses and certain like enemies you'll find higher up in the tower. The strategy for surviving most battles in the Tower of Barbs is going to be feint, let them attack you, dodge backwards, attack them, rinse, repeat. It's going to be a lot of just dodging, backing up, dodging, rolling, dodging, attacking, blah, blah, blah. There you go. Most enemies, though, are not equipped with a weapon like this guy has right now. This guy has a very different sort of weapon, so he's a little bit more of a threat to deal with. So, that said, that is like, if you're forced to fight these guys, you don't have anything to help you. Now, the game offers you many things to help you in this instance. Once you know where a hater spawns on any given floor, you can then go back and, you know, there's ways to actually approach the haters that they will not see you coming. And in that situation, there's many shrooms the mushrooms the game offer you that can help you. There's bomb shrooms that will explode. There's shrooms that will put haters to sleep if you throw them at them and hit them correctly so that you can get a surprise attack on their back. There's shrooms that will poison the hater, you know, so give you that damage while you just kind of dodge and feint and continue with your basic strategy with, like I said, almost 90% of the enemies in the game that I've encountered so far, which is just feint and get them to attack, feint in, get them to attack, dodge out, hit them as they're recovering from their attack. You'll survive just fine. Basically, it's like a very simplified Dark Souls strategy. There are bosses and things like that where there's actually timing based dodges you need to do and waiting, but it's, you know, it's basically a wait for a safe opportunity to attack the enemy, kill the enemy. Okay. So, like I said, if you want to create a hater, which I actually did this once, and I felt like the splithium I was earning was not as good as running the raids, which I'm going to get in later when I go into the Tokyo Death Metro. For now, I would say I personally didn't find that it was worth it. If you're a troll, you may want to do it for that reason, because there are some that are incredibly high leveled in low level areas that can, you know, maybe that would warrant you more. When I tried it, it was like a mid-level fighter. I think I was level 15, somewhere in there. I died during the course of exploration, and I said, screw it, I'm just going to leave her here and let her wander and see what she can get. I didn't see a huge bonus to the splithium that I was getting compared to the splithium I could earn going on raids. So, but that's what the haters are. There will always be a guaranteed one hater per floor. They're often going to spawn in the same area as, you know, they usually would. Some floors may have two, you know, I've seen up to 3 on some floors, but on those floors, 2 of them were only level 1s and very easy to deal with. So as a basic strategy for them, in conclusion to this, just basically, if you can take them by surprise, take them by surprise, use whatever you have to deal with them, and remember, feign in, you know, get an attack, dodge back, attack them while they're recovering. And that's rinse, repeat. Alright, the next super important thing you absolutely have to know and do in order to survive the Tower of Barbs is blueprints and the shop. You're gonna have to, so during the course of traveling through the Tower of Barbs, you're gonna find blueprints that you're able to bring down to Choku Funsha, the shop. And this guy is going to then have R&D available for you. The way it's going to work is basically you're going to have to find materials also in the Tower of Barbs, and you're going to bring those to him, and R&D will make those available for purchase in his shop all the time. And there is a time limit to what you can buy. So say you buy one machete, you're going to have to wait for him to make another machete. It's usually only like a minute on most of them, but some of them, once you level it higher and higher, it gets to be a little bit longer. I have one now that's up to 3 minutes for the respawn. But this is super important because it makes it so when you're heading out into the Tower of Barbs, you're starting with a complete set of armor that is, you know, max durability, because a lot of the armor you're going to salvage in the Tower of Barbs and weapons you're going to salvage in the Tower of Barbs are going to have really hurt durability. They're going to be crap. There's some weapons you can maybe kill 2 enemies with before they break. So this ensures a weapon, full set of armor, full durability. It's going to give you an excellent start in the, you know, in the tower. It's a great, you know, when you create a new fighter, which I'm going to get into here in a minute, it's great to take the fighter, go equip a brand new set of armor, but, you know, level 1, it doesn't matter, you're equipped, you know, and it's easier to level the fresh fighter that way. So this is really important. Another thing I should mention is you're actually going to find a secret shop later on hidden throughout the Tower of Barbs that will sell blueprints and materials that are, you know, rare and hard to find. Just tons of good stuff for you available. And that guy is usually hidden off to us on a side floor. It's usually nothing but a hater and then him. So that should be mentioned. But that's where you're basically going to get your fighters equipped and get them in a situation where they're able to more properly handle the Tower of Barbs. Another way to give your fighter a quick edge early on is to equip a decal from the Shroom Lady. Now, she has many available. These are basically a sticker that give your character bonuses to attack, defense, life steal, variety of things. I recently got one that increases the splithium earned. These, as far as I know, you can have one per all-rounder character, and then later you will unlock classes that you can create in the, you know, from the fighter depot that can actually have more equipped. And so that's just a little bit quick information on that. That's how she works. That's what those do. All right, now let's talk about character creation a little bit. So when you go to your freezer, you'll notice that in the beginning there's only going to be a few slots. You actually are going to upgrade your freezer space and make it so you can create more fighters by spending splithium in the Tokyo Death Metro in the waiting room. So after you've done that, you'll notice that blank spot and it'll say you're going to the fighter depot. Would you like, is this correct? Yes, you accept. It'll take you here to the train with the rows full of bodies for you to take over and guide up the Tower of Barbs. All right. Now, a lot of these classes aren't going to be available right away. Right away, you're going to have the all-rounder and that's it. The all-rounder is actually a very good class, in my opinion. It's basically your all-rounder. It's good at everything. Some of these other characters will have other things like stat bonuses boosted and given priority for shorter stats in other areas. Or there's even a character called a collector that will have a bigger inventory bag so that you could do, collecting runs, going up and scavenging, getting armor, getting weapons for your fighter. After that, basically though, you just go, you pick, one of the preset bodies of the dudes that you want to pick or the women that you want to pick, and blam, you got yourself a new fighter. Go to the store, equip them, go to the shroom lady, get a decal, and there you go, you're on your way into the Tower of Barbs. Level a new character. Okay, once you've managed to ascend now to the point where you're able to kill the first mini-boss within the Tower of Barbs, you're going to unlock the Tokyo Death Metro, which is basically the way to upgrade all of your waiting room, meaning your freezer, so that you can have multiple characters, and it is also the way that PvP is introduced into the game outside of the haters that are in the Tower of Barbs. So the way that PvP works in this is you actually set fighters to defend your base, and that's the point of leveling multiple fighters. Then when people come in to raid your splithium and your gold and your kill coins, which is, obviously the point of doing it because it rewards quite a bit of splithium this way. And the splithium is the way you upgrade your freezer, your restroom, and the way the restroom works I'll get into here in a minute. It's kind of tricky to hold on to the prisoners that you acquire and put in the restroom, so I haven't really, that's not a big thing that I'm doing in order to get splithium. I'm mostly just raiding. Either way, you're able to set defenses for your base so that it makes it harder for people to come in and raid your shit. So PvP works in this game exactly the way along the mobile aspect of PvP, such as Clash of Clans, things of that nature, where it's player versus AI controlled player, if that makes sense. So like when I go and attack someone's base, I'm not fighting real people. I'm just fighting, their fighters, and the AI takes over, such as you go fight Clash of Clans, you're just raiding their defenses. It's not really like you're raiding that player live time or whatever. I don't know how it actually works. I haven't played it. Maybe it is that way. But so the PvP in this to me feels more along that line. So once you're able to raid, basically you will take a fighter, you will raid the enemy base, you will have to fight whatever fighters they have set up in defense. Once you've defeated them, you will then have to attack the gold coin bank, or the kill coin, gold kill coin bank, and the splithium machine. And if you get their base down to 50%, meaning basically if you deplete both of those down halfway at least, you win the raid. It's considered a successful raid. This goes on your record. There's a lot more interesting things that happen with the PvP, like you choose a region when you first do this. Remember that when you pick a team and you start raiding, you will open your base up to being raided, and they can steal your splithium and your gold. Not enough to it hurt way bad, but it will happen. But as you and your region and other regions periodically are raiding each other, it will build a meter, and once that meter gets full, they call it a fight. And so those two regions will then be against each other, and once you queue to raid, you can raid and continue raiding as long as you complete successful raids. At a certain point, if you're not successful, then you will be removed from it, and that'll be the end of your participation in the fight. At the end of the conclusion, whoever has the most points or whatever from raiding, successful raids, things like that, they win and they get a huge reward. And if you participate at least once, you will get the reward that your team gets upon winning the fight. So it's a pretty unique little way that it works, and I enjoy it. You can actually also catch enemy fighters while on a raid and then bring them to your bathroom and drain splithium from them slowly, and that's how that works. But you can break them out on raids, so it's a catch-22. And finally, the last huge suggestion I would have for anyone who's starting to play this game is to return here regularly to the arcade that you're actually in, playing the game in, and talk to this surly teenage girl who's nonplussed about everything around her, and periodically check back for quests. She'll have quests available, like say pick up 5 frogs, pick up this, you know what I mean? This will bring you in a lot of kill coins, and they'll just go and sit in your inventory as or in your reward box. And if you're capped on kill coins, you can just leave them there, and then the second you spend stuff, you know, blam, you got more. And this is a great way to just have kill coins on hand, so that you're able to buy new equipment and things like that if it breaks in the tower. And that would be my final, you know, suggestion. For the most part, another suggestion is like it's not as like in depth as it appears to be. It's actually quite simple. If you're someone who's not enjoying this game because of, you know, it's kind of combat is kind of clunky, especially compared to, you know, it's kind of taking inspiration from Souls. I'd say roguelite has been around forever, but this I enjoy this game because it reminds me it's more Rogue Legacy than Brutal, if that makes sense. I like more Rogue like I like let's say good example is Binding of Isaac. Perfect example where, you know, permadeath, blah, 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 but you get rewarded for getting farther and farther each time, and eventually, you know, there is progression that happens that way. That's what this feels like. It feels like even if you're dying, even if you're running into walls, like you're always bringing kill coins back, you're able to level your fighter, and even when you die and you're forced to leave your fighter behind, your fighter will then in turn, if, you know, he was equipped well and is able to get kills or get the jump on someone, will actually send you splithium. So I mean, I'm really enjoying the way that this game is presenting itself. I'm enjoying these little PvP aspects. To me, it's a game, you know, of course I hate how when you upgrade something, you have to wait forever, you know, for it to upgrade. Sometimes upwards of a day. When you upgrade your freezer, it takes a day for you to actually get that next character slot. So, I mean, it's definitely asking you to buy kill coins and things like that in order to progress the time and things like that. Personally, I'm not finding it to be that big of an issue because the way I'm playing this game is I'm kind of just playing it here and there for an hour or two and then stepping aside, you know what I mean? Like, I've got my defenses in order, so I'll hop on, maybe raid for about 30 minutes and then call it good and get off. So, to me, it looks like almost a replacement for what Neverwinter was to me, which is just something I could play casually for an hour or so a day and slowly make progress. Almost like how my sister, who plays a lot of Clash of Clans, plays Clash of Clans, where it's just something she goes to. She doesn't ever put money into it. There's no reason to because it's a time killer. That's what I look at this as. And as far as time killers go, it's pretty damn entertaining. There's some awesome, gruesome kills you can get. I enjoy the meter that fills up and makes it so you can do a power attack, which is almost a one-shot on most enemies if your character is high enough level, using the proper weapon. I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it, but I did notice that early on it did a very poor job of presenting itself. It threw a lot of information at you really fast without, I don't know, it just had kind of a jumbled flow early on to a not really overcomplicated game. So I just wanted to throw this video together. Hope you liked it. If you did, show me some support. Click it up. If you hated it, hey, click it down. I would love it if you guys could leave a comment letting me know what you thought of this video. Was it helpful? Did I leave something out? If I left something out that you know I didn't answer a question that you have, feel free to leave it in the comments. I will answer it. I've got a pretty good grip on what this game is, what's happening, how it progresses, how to progress with it, and if it's a game you're interested in playing but you have a question that's bugging you and it's making it kill the experience for you, ask it below. I'll answer it. Anyway, guys, love you. Take care. Until next time, keep being awesome, stay safe, and remember,